Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching. Whenever you are watching, I am here in Italy, Rome, Parco dei Principe. I am attending a 5-day training intensive of Access Consciousness. And I have so much I want to share with the world. And I'm sitting here in the hotel bar and I thought I'd just go live for a little bit to talk about a couple of things. It's like, what energies can we add to our lives? You see, I'm like made up. I even got nails on. I've been playing with like this gender fluid thing and the possibilities. Let me know if you're here. And I just wanted to have a little chat about, what is it to be a man? What is it to be a woman? And what if, it's actually a thing that can contribute, because so often we see it as separate things. I've had this all my life literally, and I've been suppressing it for a long time. I think apparently I still kind of like made it wrong to be a woman, wrong to be a man, and now I just got to this point over the last couple of months that I've just kind of like been adding things to my life. So I just wanted to ask you, when you're watching, is like, what energies can you add to your life? What have you defined as male or female that is actually not necessarily male or female, but you could simply just add to your life, even let the energy of it in. What is the energy? Just if you feel like something that is not kind of like accessible, or you can't really kind of like receive something, there is usually kind of like a judgment on top of it. So just like, I would say, just knock off the judgment and see this fresh choice you could make. So here's how I went about with this. So first day, I showed up in drag all the way. I've not posted a lot of pictures, yet other people have. If you're curious, just scroll through my timeline and you'll see what I've been up to. Then day 2, I showed up as me, Merlot. Just kind of like plain, boy look, so to say. Then day 3, I'm having like kind of like this gender blend going on. And what I realized as well, gender and how we have all these gender definitions in place is more of a construct than that it's actually real. Yeah, we've grown up with, what is male, what is female, what if it isn't male, what if it isn't female, what if it's just a choice that we can choose to add to our lives. So, what have we've been refusing that we really could be choosing to add to our lives? Because the thing is, this is not only for personal choices. This is really about receiving energies means that you can be it or you cannot be it, really. And sexuality really plays a big part in this, For example, I define myself as, listen to this music. We have a live pianist here. It's amazing. So I define myself as a gay man for a long time. I once got asked in my teens, are you gay, are you straight, or are you bisexual? And I didn't really know what to say. I know I had this preference or this drawing towards male bodies. I wonder if it was like the bodies that I was like, hello baby, I see you from the other side of the room. I was thinking better than that. So I knew I was drawn to like more male bodies. And here I talk about bodies, like gender, or like male or female. It's more something that belongs to the body. My point of view, see if it works for you or not, because that's kind of like how we're physically made up. Yet there comes this whole world, this whole universe of what belongs to that, or what we think that has to be. And I realized, when we kind of like undefine that, or kind of like let some of that go, a whole universe opens up to us of other choices, of things we can add, that we might think that are more female or more male. What if they're not more female or more male? Really, what if it's like a choice to add? Like, for example, I've been like walking around with these for a couple of days, and it's opened my universe in such a way. Like, I've realized I can put something on and become it, become the energy of it, become the possibilities that reach out with it. Because, you know, if I, like, for example, with the makeup too, or with a dress, or with a certain garment, or with a glass of champagne, or with you know, a ring that's like worth $5,000, there's a different energy that opens up in our lives, and it kind of like goes on in our business, in our financial situations, in our families, in our relationships. It's an energy we become, and not from the like significance and weight and like, oh, look how important this is. What this is more about is that every definition we have about what we be, what we do, or what we can have or not have, or what we can be or not be, is really kind of like narrowing down our palette of choices in life. And you know, like 2018 has been a year for me to kind of like undefine myself, so to say. Like, you know, to look at what I've like defined myself to be, male, for instance, or gay, or not gay, or you know, being a facilitator, being a coach. Like, what if that, all of that wouldn't really like be relevant? Like, what I realized is that I am not even really important for what I want to contribute to the world. What makes me joy is way more important. And then again, what is the world asking for? I realize so much people are struggling with judgments about themselves, struggling with like insecurities, struggling with things that they want to add to their lives, but they kind of like feel they cannot have it really. What I realize is that it all has to do with this thing we call sexuality. It's like, what do you define yourself as? As a gay woman, or a straight woman, as a gay man, a straight man? Like, what? Who are you like allowing into your world? And what if we were to open all of that up and broaden that perspective, so it can actually start adding other energies to our life. And what do I mean with energies? Everything is energy. You know, like these nails are energy. This glass of champagne is energy. This phone is energy. It's just kind of like this phone is vibrating like in a more solid way, right? So, if, for example, if we're able to receive, if I say if we're a straight man, say I were a straight man, if I could only receive from a straight woman, that would exclude so many people, that would exclude so many possibilities, that would exclude so many things that couldn't come into our lives in all these areas. That business, money, relationships, all of that. A lot of people don't even think about it like that, and you don't even have to. But say, if that would just be a construct, you could just look at it and say, oh, that's interesting. I mainly choose to receive from all the energies that come and all the reality that comes with a straight woman. What's possible beyond that? Like, who else could I like let into my world to enliven my experience of being alive, and to actually kind of like, you know, ride the waves with as well? Because it's not only what about, for me, it's not only what I can be, it's as well what, you know, what is kind of like the effect that it has on the world around me. And I've noticed that me putting on makeup actually has like a big ass effect in the world. I was here, I'm still here at the conference, and so many people I see further dazzled, and when I walk around the street in heels as well, for example. Like, this morning I was actually walking down towards the venue wearing my heels, and then there was a car stopping, and there were 3 guys in it, and they looked at me, and they weren't disgusted, they were actually like enthused. I had a sense they were like more straight guys, but you know, what else is possible to even give it a name? the world is changing. Like, we're opening up, and there are so many people that would like to see us as we would like to be, and that, you know, is even beyond like what we've chosen before. Yeah, so it's like, what if what we choose to be in a body actually has an effect on our surroundings? And one of the things I've noticed, and you know, take this or not, when I show up, people usually hate me first, or they go kind of like in weirdness, or they go in admiration. Neither of them are right or wrong. Where I've had most difficulty with is that people get uncomfortable, or is that people kind of like put towards like kind of like more of a negative judgment. But that's usually when I don't stop that, I don't give that any weight or any force, or I wanna like change that energy or fix it or want them not to have it. No, I'm willing to let it totally have, let them totally have it. So it can open up something in their world. Because we're all being a constant kind of like facilitation, not as a job, but as who we are. And what is a facilitation? Making life easier, making more possible, making a different choice available for whoever's, willing to choose that as their lives. So what can we choose today or tonight to add to our lives that could open up the world in general? You might think that a choice you make for you is only for you, but what if it's never only about you or me? If I make a choice, I know it has an effect in the world, and it's something that I've kind of like not really acknowledged for a long time. I thought I was only creating my life. And this might sound a bit like Oprah, and I actually don't care, because I know that most of the content I put out there has an effect on the world, and it does inspire people. So why are we still holding back in sharing what we know and sharing what we can be? Even though it might be, judged as weird, it's only a judgment, people. I would say cheers to all the judgments you can bring up in people's worlds, all the judgments you can that you can actually open up, so it can start to unravel on the planet. Because when someone sees me, like here in this live stream, people have hopped on, people have hopped off, maybe because they got bored, or maybe because they cannot hear this conversation. And that is cool too, because they can receive it till whenever they are willing to let it in. And then it can start, bringing in another sort of energy in their life. And I don't even have to really care what that is exactly. All I know is that I would like to see a world where judgment is not relevant, and where the people that are willing to kind of like be there, be out there, can actually receive all the judgment too. It doesn't mean you have to take it. There was a really interesting conversation I had with Mr. Gary Douglas at one of the 7-day Access Consciousness events. He actually asked me, how much of the judgments have you taken instead of received? Did you were strong enough to take it? And I was like, wow, it blew my world apart, because I was still carrying around with all of that, still kind of like in a sort of pocket somewhere, or a sort of space. It was taking up space in my world. So that's like the unconsciousness that we bury ourselves with, that without even realizing it. So I thought I'd just open up this, this conversations, like what energies are you still holding on to that are just energies, and you can just simply release right now. I would say let it free. We make letting go so significant, make it weigh so much. Like you have to let stuff go. It's like no. It's not all of that. When energies like thoughts, feelings, and emotions come up, they usually kind of come up just to kind of nudge you. It's like, hey, I'm still here. Do you still need me or not? And I just let them free. Bye. Cheers to new possibilities. What else can I add to my life? Yeah, because it can be the exact same thing, but from a free choice, from a free energy. Like for example, I've let the judgment of being gay go like a long time ago. Still, I choose to engage with men and women. It's like, you know, what do I want to choose at that specific moment? It's all still a choice, and I find that kind of like just so beautiful that we actually have a reality that we're starting to have a reality that empowers choice instead of like, you know, forcing stuff into existence or forcing or being rebellious in like how different we are. What if we can just show up as different? Like on day one, and in this facilitators class, I showed up in full drag, and it was actually really fun because I didn't really say much about it. I just sat down, attended the conference. I was like, all right, let's do this. And still, I noticed that people were intrigued, people were inspired, people were like, oh my God, you look so beautiful, or why are you wearing that? And what I found like most beautiful as well is that the people that were giving the conference weren't paying so much attention or giving it so much weight. Like they were really kind of like, oh, thank you for showing up, and let's move on with this show. And I was like, oh yes, that's exactly what I wanted to achieve in some way. I didn't really have an agenda other than showing up for it. I was just really grateful for being part of the whole with a different choice, wearing a pink wig and having like some dashing eyes and lips, and you know, wearing a costume that features my body in a different way, that brings out my ass a little more, that features my legs. They're allowed to be seen. Yeah, what parts of your body can you like start including in your life more? It's like, what if you like thought was wrong about your body? That's actually one of your greatest assets. Like when guys, you know, like I date, you know, that's not a secret. And I date guys and girls with different body types. Why? Because I enjoy it. You know, I like a little extra as well. That doesn't have to be a secret as well. What usually occurs is that people have a judgment about it and they try to hold in their stomach, or they say, yeah, I should be working out more. And I'm like, you know, I always kind of like break that or destroy that energy. I mean, it doesn't come up for no reason. They say, like, oh, I like a little extra. It's like, are you judging your stomach? And they usually be like, I'm like, well, in my presence, you don't have to. And they're like, whew, they're a little bit out of control, usually. And then it starts to melt. And then I'm like, yeah, that's how you can be with your body. You don't need to judge. What we choose as people is totally different than what our bodies can be. Yeah, we've created a female body or a male body, and what if it doesn't matter? Of course, I'm in the question, you know, where do I show up? Like I won't show up in drag or with makeup everywhere. It's just kind of like, what does the situation require, and can I add something extra? What can I be in this situation? What if it's more about playing with the possibilities that we have available to us, other than deciding what is right or wrong to show up? So what energies can we add to our lives that we have like held at bay for maybe longer? Like, what if you notice a kid, you know, of what you wanted to do or be, you could just start choosing. Because if you start choosing it, you start engaging with the universe, so it can start showing up. And if it doesn't show up tomorrow or the day after or next week or next month, it doesn't matter. Just keep having that energy in your world. whether you choose to act on it or not. Because with being that energy, the universe opens up to you in ways you probably cannot think of yet or decide how it's going to show up. What if we would just be open to receive whatever it will be? Male or female, whatever gender definition you give yourself, and judgment is always going to be there, you know. People are going to judge. What if it's just a judgment? Really, I cannot emphasize this enough. What if it's not just a judgment? Just because it feels heavy doesn't mean it's true, alright? Just because it's heavy does not mean that it's true. That might be the lie you're picking up on. It doesn't mean anything. So, alas, here's the story for tonight. I say cheers to male and female, like it was International Women's Day yesterday. I wanted to like write something, but then I got too tired and I basically kind of like just fell asleep in my hotel room. But you know, whatever gender you are, whatever body you have, what if you were to celebrate it right now? Whatever body type, whatever choices you've made in your life or with your body so far, what if you were to like, yeah, go me, celebrate it right now? Because if there's one thing that I would like to see is more the celebration of our choices and celebrations of our bodies. Because, you know, our beautiful bodies are there to be enjoyed. At least that's my point of view. Choose it if you wanna. Judge it if you wanna. It's not wrong either to judge your body. It doesn't make you happy. Usually judgment is really kind of like a joy killer. So if you're watching this, you probably know that something else is possible. So yeah. And if you have any judgments come up during this live stream, it's alright. That's why I'm doing this. Ha 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 ha. Because when those judgments come up and what you might think or feel someone's judging, change is occurring. Magic is in the air. Because that's what we all are. And cheers to that. So, are there any questions? Because otherwise I'm going to call it quits. And I'm going to thank you for listening to this live stream or video so far, wherever you're listening. What else is possible beyond judgments? Like, what can we be that will create a future that is generative on the planet, that will actually educate our kids and the younger generations that it's okay to be you and that you don't have to judge. Because so often people make it positive, like a right to be something. What if right is not relevant at all as well? What if acceptance is so last year? What if a choice to be, whatever you choose to be, is way more real than having to be accepted and having to be rejected? So, cheers to choice, sea to sea. I wish you a very good night from Parco del Principe in Rome. What energies can we add to our lives? Let me know if you find this, you know, what you get out of it or what you've chosen, whatever way. And otherwise, just know what you have chosen and what you can add to your life. Adore you all. Good night.